Meeting is called to order. The Runnemede Board of Education meeting is called to order. The Board of Education is in compliance with Chapter 231 of the Public Laws of 1975, entitled the Open Public Meetings Act. The time, date, and location of this meeting was appropriately advertised by notifying the retrospect, as well as posting notices in the Borough Hall, Runnemede Post Office, Mary Gold School, Alliant Bingham School, Grace Downing School, and the Runnemede Public School District website. Please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, board members.
Ms. Adair.
Here.
Ms. Beebe.
Here.
Mr. Buckheim. Here. Ms. Davidson.
Here.
Ms. Farry.
She's still waiting.
Ms. Panzarella.
Here.
Ms. Smith.
Here.
Ms. Torrillo.
Here.
Ms. Spalding.
Here.
Quorum.
Also present, Mark Iannucci, Superintendent, Dr. Sean McCarron, Business Administrator, Supervisor of Curriculum and Instruction, Mrs. Jean Yezzi, Principal, Bingham Downing School, Mr. Steve Peely, Principal, Mary Gold School, Mr. James Winkelspeck, Vice Principal, Gold School, Mrs. Lori Hines, Child Study Team Supervisor, and Mr. Butch Bruner, Supervisor of Building and Grounds. At this time, I need a motion to approve meeting minutes for November 19th, work session, regular session, and executive session. Motion made by Chaz.
I'll second it.
Seconded by Lynn. Any questions? Roll call.
Ms. Adair.
Abstain. Sorry.
Ms. Beebe.
Yes.
Mr. Buckheim.
Yes.
Ms. Davidson.
I abstain. I was absent on all three meetings.
Ms. Panzarella.
Yes to the work session, yes to like half of the regular meeting, no to the other half, and no to executive. I mean, I abstained. I had to leave, sorry.
Ms. Smith.
Yes.
Ms. Torrillo.
Yes.
And Ms. Spalding.
You like my
Yes.
Dr. McKay?
Motion passes.
At this time, I need a motion to approve the financial report ending November 2014.
I'll make that motion.
Motion made by Pat Smith, second by Maria.
Ms. Adair.
Yes.
Ms. Beebe.
Yes.
Mr. Buckheim.
Yes.
Ms. Davidson.
Yes.
Ms. Panzarella.
Yes.
Ms. Smith.
Yes.
Ms. Torrillo.
Yes.
Ms. Spalding.
Yes. At this time, we are going to stop for a few presentations. I'm going to give the mic over to you.
Excellent. Now I'm going to give it over to Dr. McCarron.
Yes, the
The first presentation will be regarding the Longwood Gardens. The slideshow involved. Mrs. Yezzi has brought some of her wonderful staff.
I sure did. As you are well aware, the last couple months I've kept you in the loop with our Longwood Gardens project, which was spearheaded by Mrs. Karpiak, our lovely art teacher. You can make it a little I know, but it's nice to be recognized. So the second grade teachers, and with us tonight is everyone, Ms. Berkulis, Mrs. Toomey, Ms. Bergman, and Mrs. Helder hiding in the back. Mrs. Venna comes back this week, so we're happy to have our second grade team intact. But all of the teachers and all the students did such an amazing job. It was such an honor. I mean, the slideshow is amazing, and I appreciate Mrs. Greenwood and Mrs. Kaufman helping us put it all together. But it really doesn't even do it any justice. I mean, if you have an opportunity to visit, it's lovely. I mean, I brought my 5-year-old, and I thought, oh, this should be interesting. She just fell in love with the place. It was the first time I was there. We had a lot of visitors from the district, a lot of parent support and students, and it was just amazing. So we just wanted to recognize the staff, especially Mrs. Karpiak. I mean, she's just is a legend in the district, and I mean, if I can, you know, look up to anyone who just has a great work ethic and does great things for kids every day, and goes above and beyond. It takes so much work, such a commitment. I mean, the decorations, the supplies, the driving up there to prepare everything, and the driving back, and the organizing the dinner. I mean, the list is very long, and we really appreciate you, and I hope that your bucket is filled and you feel great. All the board members will receive a special decoration that was made. Also, they were featured in the paper. Look at these lovely ladies.
Thank you, Mr. Connor, for bringing that in.
Yes, so we have copies for the staff, and again, for the board, if you have an opportunity, it really is such an honor for the district. So sit back, enjoy, and Dr. McCarron, do your thing. Thank you. going to say a few words as well.
I just wanted to say that this is not just me. I mean, it's nice that my name's up there, but this is such a huge undertaking that you have to have a team. And starting with Mrs. Yazzie and my great second grade teachers. I mean, we really worked hard. So, thank you.
Mrs. Kelly?
Thank you.
As you know, at the last council meeting, we had a proclamation read, and I'd like to present it to the Board of Education on behalf of Mayor and Council, and it's proclamation, Runnemede Day at Longwood Gardens, December 6, 2014. Whereas, each year, Longwood Gardens accepts applications for schools and/or classrooms to decorate one of 13 holiday trees in their conservatory throughout the holiday season. And whereas, Mrs. Carpiak-Beloy, Bingham and Downing's art teacher, along with the second grade teachers, applied for the opportunity to decorate a tree that connected with the theme of birds. And whereas their Falamingo idea that includes all types of ornaments and garland that focused on flamingos and seashore was chosen. And whereas our second grade students decorated the tree, which will be on display from November the 28th through January 11th in the conservatory at Longwood Gardens, and whereas the citizens of Runnemede wish to congratulate Mrs. Carpiak-Beloy and the second grade students for this great honor. And therefore, be it resolved that I, Bertha Calvanis, Mayor of the Borough of Runnemede, do hereby proclaim December 6th, 2014 as Runnemede Day at Longwood Gardens in honor of this achievement, and be it further resolved that on behalf of the entire citizenry of the Borough of Runnemede, I would like to congratulate these students and the staff involved for the Runnemede Holiday Spirit Dance Part to all viewing their accomplishment and thus representing the best that Runnemede has to offer. And this was read into council on December 2nd, 2014 and signed by Mayor Calvanis.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Mrs. Kelly, Mrs. Passio, for being here to represent and help us thank our wonderful second grade teachers and our art teacher. Thank you, ladies, for coming as well.
You're welcome.
At this time, we have some student presenters. We'll do this now as well?
We have some, I'm sorry, Mike.
No.
You're fine.
You're good.
We have some student council, 8th grade student council members here come talk about life at Volts here. So, Ray,
If you could just introduce yourself, first and last name, so everybody who doesn't know you gets a chance to.
Good evening, my name is Raymond Benor, and I'm on the Student Council Executive Board. I wanted to highlight some of the things going around in our school. On December 3rd, we had a great winter concert at Triton. The next day, we went on a trip to the Hamilton Mall and sang it. It was cool. Students had a chance to buy Christmas presents for their family members and friends at the Sanish Workshop. We also had our Student of the Month breakfast for the 4th, 5th graders, and the 6th, 7th, and 8th graders got to go to the Billy Diner.
Thank you.
My name is Hannah First, and I'm a community rep from Mrs. Duffield class. Triton counselors visited our school to talk about next year. They gave us information about their program, and we got to meet our counselor. The basketball teams and cheerleaders started their season. The girls' team is a 3-0, and the boys' team is a 1-2. Their 2 losses were by 1 point to Magnolia and Belmar. Remember, our school was closed for Christmas break from December 24th to January 2nd.
Hi, I'm Elena Faciani. My homeroom is Mrs. Newhart. In our school we had a turkey trot December 4th. We raised almost $400. One student beat Mr. Whipple in the turkey trot. We had parents.
We should bring him here and honor him.
the kid was in slippers.
Yeah. Oh, that's even better.
We had parents come and talk to our teachers for the conferences, and we had a lot of parents help, and we had a lot of parents, and I helped escort them to classes. So we had an honor roll assembly where almost 240 students were recognized by their schoolmates for their success.
We don't like to talk in public either, so thank you for coming.
Me being the number one person for that. I just want to also recognize some of the 8th grade students that helped out with the Hands on the Holiday Tour. Mrs. Yezzi had sent us a letter recognizing those students. I just like to read off their names. Probably butcher some of their last names, so I apologize. Elena Falciani, who is right in front of us, is involved in tons of stuff. Eric Gee, Devin Gigliotti, Nathan Clark, Alexis Pucciarelli, Emily Nadavari, Kayla Schaub, Jake Fazzi, Carly Swanson, Vincent Lombardi, Elisa Ramos, Caitlin McAllis, and Antonio Rico helped out with that after-school project. I know they had some other activities planned, I think, in the spring with some of the older students helping out with some of the elementary school students. It was good. So we appreciate their efforts. Sure. Yep. If Pat Smith could come forward, please. We have a little token of our appreciation for serving on board. And I'll read off what the plaque says very briefly. Presented to Pat Smith in recognition for your dedicated service to the students and staff of the Runnemede Public School District, December 17, 2014. This is Pat's last official meeting as a school board member, so we want to say thank you for that.
Thank you. On behalf of the board members, thank you, Pat, and for the students and for helping us and enjoy Florida and stop posting all them pictures and making us jealous. Thank you very much.
Can you stand here real quick? Ms. Torillo, come on up.
I can't even look at it because I know you're going to start crying.
Yeah, this is President Ms. Torillo,
I can't even look
dedicated
at it.
service to the students and staff of the Runnemede School District on this day, December 17th. And we also have a cake. Now, trying to get a cake this time of year that's not either a holiday or the Frozen theme, this is the best I can do. So, this is thank you, Pat and Lynn. And so we're going to take a short break and have a slice of cake, add to that holiday festivities. So we'll take a 10-minute recess.
Yeah, all in favor of 10 minutes started? Meeting is back in session. It is 7:30.
All right, let's see.
So at this time, we are going to open up for public comments on agenda items only. At this time, if anyone has any questions on agenda items. If not, we will move along to reports. So we did review the reports during the workshop session, but Dr. McCarron, do you have anything to add?
From the BA side, with food service, we began serving breakfast in the classroom for grades K to 3 and Downing. So that now increases the number of breakfasts that we're serving on a daily basis, which allows us to have staff members for a 5.5-hour period serving in the building, and it's now cost effective, and we're running on the up and up with that. We also met with the South Jersey Technology Partnership regarding rod grants, and that's a shared service that we would go into in terms of helping us with bids to make sure that we go through the process extensively and that our bid specs are written to a T for the product that we end up getting. In speaking to neighboring districts, they've been very pleased with the response from SJTP, the workers that they were able to bring in. So we're hoping that that works out for us as well in the next year. Curriculum, Runnemede met with Black Horse Pike, Gloucester Township, and Belmar regarding curriculums across the districts. And that is going to be ongoing about 4 times each year to make sure that we can at least try to be on the same page with everything that's going on. And then one thing that's coming up is we're putting out a summer online program for students in grades 6, 7, and 8, going into 6, 7, and 8 for next year. And those students who currently have Chromebooks will be signing up for classes and will be participating in a 10-week online program that teachers are creating online classroom environments for. So they will be obligated to logging on for 1 hour a week, but in return they will get to keep their Chromebook over the summer month instead of us simply storing them until they come back in September.
All subjects, you said the teachers.
Teachers were able to submit on different topics. So although we'll have like language skills, math skills, coding, one teacher did like Greek mythology. One teacher did like the Holocaust. Another teacher was doing environmental studies. So it's on all different types of topics that they might be interested in. It's more of like an enrichment to kind of keep them motivated. And since it's the teachers who are creating it, they're the ones who are, you know, in the forefront with the students, who will then be talking up their individual sections.
Sean, what grade levels is this?
It'll be for 6th, 7th, and 8th because it's our students in 5, 6, and 7 who will be moving up.
Right, okay.
So if you see under curriculum, it says that what we're approving tonight is their names and what the actual
Course title.
course
right there.
is. So, child development, babysitting, writing Greek mythology, environmental issues, theater arts, there's a lot of different things for them. Thank you. Superintendent's report, Mr.
And we'll
Agnesi.
keep you updated on some of the same areas of progress. I know some of the teachers are already giving us ideas of what they're doing, some ideas, if things change, you know, can be flexible with that and be able to make those changes. All right, just real quick, district enrollment remains steady, 858 students for the 10 out of districts. We've already begun budget preparation for the 2015-2016 school year. We have met with the administrative team several times on planning in the early stages of that. They submit, you know, their budgets to us. We're looking for any. Right now, we're kind of looking for those big ticket items that anybody's interested in teaching wise, not just your pencils and paper clips. Anything that they might need, so we can put that into the budget for the following year. Speaking with Dr. McKenna, I think we're in pretty good shape moving forward as far as budgeting. There's a lot of good things going on in the business office. They're doing a great job. So I think we should be good. We'll have some more information on that in the January meeting. You've seen some of the district events that have been going on lately. A lot of great stuff going on. A lot of kids involved with, and their parents as well. I know one of the things Mrs. Yesi started over bringing down the book meeting and the opportunity for some of those people working with the students. That's really something that's pretty cool. Getting those volunteers to come in and help our kids on a weekly basis. So they're doing a great job. Evening conferences last week. The principals can probably speak a little bit what their attendance was. I know you had strong. It's the first time we've had evening conferences. I don't know what the exact.
Ours was about 88%.
Excellent.
Good.
88% overall.
Overall.
That was very good.
Now, they have conference every night, or?
Well, one night,
Just
ours
one
was
night.
Thursday night,
Gotcha.
Steve was Wednesday.
Okay.
And we were very flexible with parents, like I just kind of stressed, you know, parents can come in at 8 o'clock in the morning and you can get there at 8, and I mean, the goal is to meet with every parent, so the teachers were extremely flexible and the parents showed, and it was all good, so happy to see you sent.
For 4th and 5th, we had the same, we expected that every teacher meet with, you know, every parent, and, you know, it's a little more like the elementary setting. For the school, we had about 200, 3 days, 200 sign-ins from parents, so I think we had about 300 kids in 7th grade, so they're talking about 2/3, which is good for most schools. I think the evening conferences will well.
And we'll talk, and, you know, we've actually looked into other options for conferences maybe in the future, as some districts do. We'll give the students a day off and the teachers will come in from like 11 to 7 to do that. So that's something we've talked about if we work it. So we're going to look at that possibly moving forward, but, you know, just to see how that works. But right now, I think there's one evening in the fall and one evening in the spring. The important thing that, as we talked about with the administrators, was getting that spring conference as well. In the past, I think sometimes it was just an option for the parent. Like, I think it should be, if you want to give them an opportunity to come see how they progress throughout. So that first time in December, again in April. So
Do the teachers know that? That's what their expectation?
yes.
Yes, they have a down, I can't speak for all.
Yes.
I would say, yes.
It's not an option. It's going to be something we're going to be doing moving forward. But again, they can also have conferences anytime of the year. Right. We through Fremont, if that's the case. We've also begun the second round of evaluations. They're unannounced. I put that in the report. That means we don't have that pre-conference meeting with them this round. So sometimes when you walk in, you get that, oh, hi, how you doing? Nice to see you. And you sit down with your laptop and you start. They've actually gone well. There hasn't been really anything that's alarmed any administrators as far as what's going on in the classroom for unannounced observation. So we'll complete them by, I think we have January 30th is our deadline. But they're moving well. We also, Ms. Panzarella and I met this evening prior to the workshop with members of the Ed Foundation, and we shared some ideas of what direction they're looking to go in, as well as some things that we possibly like to see happen at all three buildings. I think it was a good meeting. We shared some more information. We're going to probably meet up again in the near future, and getting more staff members involved, possibly your community members, and just kind of like thinking outside the box on what we want to do. So many activities that we can help kids. A lot more extracurricular ideas that it's great for them sharing some of those ideas. But we are going to send out possibly a survey to the students and the parents of what things they'd like to see as far as activities and clubs. Because we do see participation at all three buildings for those things. We're going to keep the kids active and keep them out of trouble. With idle hands.
I think we should thank Mrs. Hornigold for her dedication all these years. Thank you. Your hard work does not go unnoticed. We really appreciate you staying, sticking to your beliefs and keeping the Ed Foundation above water. We really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
I think just something I want to point out is it was formed when the budget wasn't in such a good place.
Right.
And they helped offset some of the things or keep some of the things that we would have lost, we would have lost or we wouldn't have had. So, to keep a partnership I think is important in the event that ever comes up. Again, this is a hard, working person that's willing to continue doing so. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Dr. McGarren mentioned the articulation. We have the superintendents, curriculum directors, and principals of the middle schools with the high school. And I think they set up another meeting coming up in February, I believe. Is that set on the same page? But speaking to the Triton principal yesterday, and she says we're not too far off, I think, in some of the ideas we have for the students in 8th grade moving forward. So we'll continue to look at that. So that is my report. If you have any questions, move on.
So we reviewed the principal's reports. Thank you, Mr. Arnucci. The nurses report, building and grounds report, and special education reports, and asked our questions. However, Ms. C, you wanted to, maybe we can let the principals know that you want to publicly recognize the...
Yes, in looking at it, I had a little quibble going on with trying to access my agenda for tonight when line. There was something wrong with my email. So I came over and Mrs. Mel's tester was very nice to print out a hard copy. And I started looking through things and I saw from Mrs. Beta's desk and from the nurse's desk here at both schools, just little quips about things that parents can do from the home front to help. One was with homework hotline and websites, and the other one was sleep deprivation, which I thought was an excellent informational bit. So I want to please thank Mrs. Kerslick and Mrs. Beta for this information, and tell them that I will be sharing these things with my neighborhood children to ensure that parents know about these things. It was just very educational from my perspective, and I'm sure a lot of other parents appreciate it. So, thanks, Ian.
No problem.
Anything else? Anyone else have any issues or comments on the reports? Okay. PTA report? Any committee reports? Is there anything we had some lengthy reports?
Not this time.
No, I will say that just so you guys, just so people are aware, I'll speak real quick on the Black Horse Pike Regional School District. Something that our district is looking into is a totally revamped bell schedule for next year, and it is there's a ton of information on our website, and it's been like a hot topic, and they're really doing a lot of research and sending parents, I know a couple of our parents were asked to go, and students and teachers and coaches and advisors down to look at Mainland Public School. We're looking to like, it's just totally different than what we're used to. There's gonna be 44 minutes in the middle of the day, period forward, where every single teacher is off. And all the students eat. It's going to be called like Mustang Community Time, and they're going to purchase kiosks. So there's going to be like a pizza kiosk down by the LMC, and there's going to be a salad bar down at the other. So like they don't have to eat in the cafeteria. We can have meetings. They can go where they want. They can go to the LMC, and it's like block scheduling, and there's a lot of research behind it, and there's a lot of data on it, and they're really looking for like input. If anyone would just, what'd you say?
Just in time for Gregory to be confused.
It's actually, I believe, he won't even know any different anyway, so, but there's a lot of good things about it, of course. As adults, we don't like change, but I'm just letting you know, like you may hear in the community that they're really looking at, they're doing a lot of research. You can go on Triton's website, it's there, and most likely, you know, the wheels are turning, and most likely this is what's going to happen next year. And it's supposed to just put a little bit more accountability on the students, and also allow them to have more freedom, but more accountability. So it's, you know, so if you want to look at the website, there's a ton of information on the website Dr. Rapisi put up there. So that is something that's like a major district. So all 3 schools are going to be doing it. It's a district-wide thing.
Are they looking to go to block scheduling?
Yeah, so it's like one day we would have 1, 2, 3 in the morning. Then there's always that 44 minutes. And then say you do 5, 6, 7. Then the next day you do 3, 2, 1. It's different every day, but it's longer. So it's like
a larger block of time.
Larger block of time. So you actually, it allows them to have more electives for the students, and actually more class time for their core. So you can, if you want to look at it, you can check out Triton's website or the district's website, and there's a ton of information on there. So that's that. I just wanted to let everybody know that that's happening, and that's causing a lot of discussion amongst the community. So in case anyone asks, you know, just divert them to the website.
Thanks.
With the New Jersey School Board Association, our next meeting isn't until May. Between now and then, we'll see probably some recommended resolutions that will come up for us to take a look at. We had a discussion about the resolutions we looked at in November. And the only other thing I want to mention is going back to our school board handbook that we developed. I've just pointed out 3 simple updates in the handbook for next month, because we'll have some new board members. And Naomi just notified me this evening that another school district has contacted her, would like to have a copy of our handbook. And for those of you sitting out there, if you didn't hear this when I talked about this back in, I guess it was October, I was at a workshop at Princeton. We had breakout sessions. There were about 200 people, 200 board members there. And we had breakout rooms, and each room had about 14 board members in it. And the person, the facilitator asked before we get started, each of you, what's something significant that you feel has occurred at your board? And when it was my turn, I said, the development of a board handbook, board member handbook, especially for people coming on for the first time. And she thought that was a wonderful idea, and she asked the 11 other board members in that room, all from other districts, how many of your boards of education had a handbook for your board members? None of them raised their hand. Well, since that conference, I've had probably 6 districts contact me, and now a 7th, because they want a copy of our handbook that we developed. So, especially Lynn and Patton, for your work, I want to thank you so much.
Oh, you're so welcome.
And it's expanded out to helping other
and
boards.
That's good, and that's the way it should be.
Yeah.
Great.
Thank you too for all of your work.
Absolutely.
Any other comments, questions, other reports? If not, we'll move along to property and transportation. At this time, I need a motion to approve items number 1 through 7.
Make a motion to approve items 1 through 7.
Motion made by Maria, seconded by Naomi. If there's not any questions, roll call.
Ms. Kidder?
Yes.
Ms. Beebe?
Yes.
Buckheim?
Yes.
Ms. Davidson?
Yes.
Ms. Farry came in at 7:37, noted. Ms. Farry? Throw that in there. We never welcomed you.
Yes, thank you
Yeah.
for the welcome.
Absolutely. Happy holidays. Ms. Panzarella?
Yes.
Ms. Smith?
Yes.
Ms. Turillo?
Yes.
Ms. Spalding?
Yes.
Motion passes.
At this time, under personnel, we need a motion to approve items number 1 through 4.
I'll make a motion to approve items number one.
Motion made by Patty Adair, seconded by Chaz. Roll call.
Ms. Adair?
Yes.
Ms. Beebe? Mr. Buckheim?
Yes.
Ms. Davidson?
Yes.
Ms. Farry?
Yes.
Ms. Panzarella?
Yes.
Ms. Smith?
Yes.
Ms. Turillo?
Yes.
Ms. Spalding?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Under finance, we need a motion to approve items number 1 to 13, because remember, I added 13 to allow the cheerleading coach
I'm
to
in
have.
motion fundraiser for items number 1 through 13. She didn't hear me.
Patty made the motion, Patty Smith made the motion, and Maria seconded. Roll call.
So first and all.
Ms. Adair?
Yes.
Ms. Beebe?
Yes.
Mr. Buckheim?
Yes.
Ms. Davidson?
Yes.
Ms. Farry?
Yes.
Ms. Panzarella? Ms. Smith?
Yes.
Ms. Turillo?
Yes.
Ms. Spalding?
Yes.
Motion passes.
What? Yes. Under curriculum, I need a motion to approve items number 1 through 5.
I'll make that motion.
Motion made by Lynn, seconded by Pat Adair. Roll call.
Ms. Turillo?
Yes.
Ms. Smith?
Yes.
Ms. Panzarella?
Yes.
Ms. Farry?
Yes.
Ms. Davidson?
Yes.
Mr. Buckheim?
Yes.
Ms. Beebe?
Yes.
Ms. Adair?
Yes.
Ms. Spalding?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Under policies and public relations, I need a motion for the 1 and 2.
Make a motion to approve 1 and 2.
Motion made by Maria,
I'll second.
seconded by Pat Adair. Operation Footsteps, can the board get some more information about that when, or like, you know, send some flyers home or shoot us an email with the flyer attached so we can spread the word? Because we think it's a pretty awesome idea. Okay?
Yes.
Roll call.
Ms. Beebe?
Yes.
Ms. Davidson?
Yes.
Ms. Panzarella?
Yes.
Ms. Turillo?
Yes.
Ms. Adair?
Yes.
Mr. Buckheim?
Yes.
Ms. Farry?
Yes.
Ms. Smith?
Yes.
Ms. Spalding?
Yes.
Motion passes.
At this time, we are open for public comment on any agenda item or non-agenda item. Does anyone at this time in the public have anything they'd like to say?
I have something as a public, not as a parent. I think the game, the basketball team for the second year in a row has done a that Triton that we just played on. I just thank Triton for welcoming us. And I want to thank Mr. Wink and our basketball coach for arranging this. It's something we had never done in the past. And you can tell, like, it means a lot to the kids. I think
There was a ton of kids there.
Yes, there were, and a good turnout, not only the players and the parents, because it's a later game, so the parents can't attend and the huge turnout from both schools. It's a great experience.
Tons of Triton kids there too.
Tons.
And even though it was Belmar that was scoring the threes, you had to say, like, when they were scored a 3-pointer, the whole, like, all the high school kids were like, woo,
Well,
getting excited, and then I was like, oh, it's for Belmar, I'm still cheering
But
because.
wait, he scored 5 3-pointers. He's a product of Runnemede basketball. I'll say.
Oh, he plays for the RYA. Oh, that's great.
So I just had to throw that out there, you know.
Well, no, I think that it's great to
It was a
just,
great,
you know,
great
it was
experience.
cool. I was glad I got a chance to make it there.
Yeah.
It was nice.
Well, I thank everyone who makes that happen.
Any other public comment at this time? If not, I would like to remind everyone that our reorganization meeting is going to be on Thursday, January 8th, 2015 at 7 p.m. And I would also like to again publicly thank Ms. Turlo for everything that she has done for our school district, and for Pat for her years of service as a board member. Thank you very much, and we hope that you're not too unfamiliar faces, you know, you have to stick around. Come around and ask us a lot of questions. We hope that we see you, and we hope that you ask us a lot of questions. You can sit in with us.
That's where she deserves a lot of thanks.
Thank you for your service. We will certainly miss you. I need a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion.
Oh, Naomi with the motion.
Wow.